What's up?
What's
What's
up? What's
up?
up?
Jeez Louise, it's been a long week. We are back
Already right.
again. Dope Sports Chicks. You got Sigdale, Nicole, and
Carlita Nicole, the quirky queen herself, Chi-Town, born and bred, Texas fed. What's up, y'all?
what
So,
is up?
this is an okay week, even though we lost. I'm not, but do you see that the star is not my quarterback? Not my quarterback, but the stars is covered because what what am I beefing with the Jerry Jones about this week? Can we get into me and Jerry Jones's toxic relationship this week? Cause y'all,
Absolutely.
like the Lulu is like crazy at this point. So here's the deal. Y'all know we lost to the Carolina Panthers 30-27 this week. Why? We'll get into that. But Jerry Jones, he reportedly missed the mandatory media after the game this week. I wonder why, right? And part of that is probably because this is our third revenge game this season. Okay. We had a revenge game with going to Chicago, Matt Eberflus's former team, and we got mollywopped by Caleb Williams and them. So that didn't benefit us having their former coach. We played the Packers with Micah Parsons. Luckily, he didn't go off on us, right? So,
Not all
okay,
the way right.
not all the way that he could have. So we know that. And then this game, Rico Dowdle. Okay. So this former Dallas Cowboy, he had a huge revenge game on us. This man had 30 rushes. Like they gave him the ball 30 times. For him to run all up and through Dallas's defense for 183 yards on the ground, 56 yards receiving. Y'all, he had almost 150 yards total against us. Himself.
Almost 250.
By himself.
Right.
Yeah. And what's crazy about that is that he warned Dallas. But well before the game, he was like, yeah, buckle up.
Right.
Did we? We didn't. We absolutely didn't. So, like, why didn't Jerry re-sign him? Why didn't we at least Jerry Jones being this fully well-equipped, knowledgeable GM and owner and coach of the Dallas Cowboys? How come he couldn't anticipate Rico Dowdle becoming this offensive weapon where he could see Williams and Rico Dowdle maybe be this great tandem like Tony Pollard and Zeke 2.0? Yeah, Jerry didn't do that. Jerry didn't see it. So we know last week, he's been the Lulu. We know the senile, but this right here, he missed the mark with the Rico Dowdle because we could have kept Rico Dowdle. He wasn't with all of the big hoopla with these big contracts like Michael Parsons. So anyway, Sadell, the defense missed 11 tackles. Then we had a crucial penalty. Kair Elam was penalized for pass interference on a 3rd and 7, and that kept Carolina's last drive going. That last drive was a 71-yard drive, 15 plays,
15 plays.
over 6 minutes. Okay? That right there is like, what is our defense doing? Because make a stop. Y'all got to be tired defending for over 6 minutes straight. Make a stop. But okay, nevertheless, here goes Jerry defending the foolery. Jerry is defending Matt Eberflus. He believes that he's still the guy to fix the defense. He believes that we have the pass rush.
He's lying. Like he's lying. He knows we do. We don't even have a pass rush. First of all, He's lying. He does not believe that. We don't. What pass rush do we have? I mean, we don't. I mean, our defense is horrible. Not
Atrocious.
There's no pressure, and not even that. Get away, Coach Bryce. That's an Eagles fan. I can't even respond to that. But
Yeah, we don't
not
do
even
that.
just that. We can't stop anybody. I mean, literally, grandma can come out the stands and run down the field for a good 80 yards before she gets tackled.
Yes.
We tackle like we're 6 years old, like no wrap up, no nothing. And I mean, we know our secondary hasn't tackled well, but we don't have anybody who really tackles well. It's terrible.
It's ridiculous. So the fact that Jerry Jones has defended the foolery over and over again, time and time again, like he is blind to what we all can see. We all know it. We all can see it.
He's
And
just trying to make a public show because ain't no way there's no way. I mean, he doesn't believe that. He's watching the game. He does not believe
so
that.
you don't think it's Delulu? You think it's just him and his media spectacle?
I think it's his ego because he's getting flack because of Micah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now this defensive coordinator is getting all this slack, but you let go our best player, not just our best defensive player, really our best player on the team.
The heart of the team.
And now we can't stop nothing. We can't stop anything. So I think his pride won't allow him to say how horrible we are.
Well, for that reason, the Stars covered this week, ladies and gentlemen. But not my quarterback. Why not the quarterback? Let me explain that to you. Okay.
I mean, our offense is decent. You know what I'm saying? We just can't stop anybody. I mean, god dang.
So Dak threw for 261 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And during this game, listen, these stats are bananas, okay? During this game, Dak became the first quarterback since 1950. 1950 to have 11 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, no turnovers, and yet to have a winning record over a 3-start span. That's 3 games with all of that perfection and nothing. It gets worse because the last 3 games, if you go on and you look at the totality of these last 3 games, he's 74 for 103. With his passes, 817 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The last 3 games, Dallas has scored 104 points. Sadell, 104 points across those 3 games. We won 1, we lost 1, we tied. Dak is doing all of this fantastic elite quarterback play, and for what?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Honestly, I don't see how it's going to get better. Coach Bryce says offense has to complement defense. Our defense can't bleed Todd Middle School right now, and Todd Middle School ain't even the best middle school. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I mean, I don't see it changing. And I mean, unfortunately, even with our game this week, I want us to win, but we're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. Yes. It's crazy.
Exactly. So this is something else that I thought was super interesting because now to see how incredible our offense has been, even without our number 1 wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb.
We might have a new number 1 wide receiver, though. I mean, I'm kind of with
Pickens in real life, because how is that going to work when CD comes back? Because that's a whole nother story.
I mean, it will allow us to spread the field, and that's good and great, and we can score 40 points. But if we give up 41, we still have a problem.
That there will forever be the problem. So this was also something interesting that I came across that I wanted to share with you guys. that so AI did this prediction of Dak's stat line if he were to play against the Cowboys defense. Have you seen that?
No.
It is hilarious. Like, because it's honestly, like, it to me it's spot on. If Dakota Prescott was to play against the Cowboys defense, he would have a 74.3 completion rate, 360 yards passing, 5 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, which is a total of 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, with a complete passer rating of over 154. Listen,
I would be hard pressed to do that with our quarterback that we have at South Oak Cliff High School and see what he looks like. Because at this point right now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
anybody. Well, so Charles just said Dak is experiencing what Burrow did last year. And so, but Cincinnati doesn't have a defensive problem as big as Dallas has right now. Cincinnati has an offensive line problem. And historically, in the last few seasons, we have talked about Dallas's offensive line being problematic. Right. This season, that has not been the case.
Well, and which plays a big part in how our offense is being so successful. I mean, we've just been injury prone the past few years.
Okay. Yes, on our offensive line, I can agree with you on the injury prone, but you know how I feel about that whole statement and stuff. But yes, so basically our offense is doing what they're supposed to do. Defense is completely atrocious, and all roads lead back to the Jerry Jones once again. So that's my gripe with him this week. The fact that we lost against the Carolina Panthers on a game that we absolutely should have won. We lost by a field goal.
And it's not even necessary. I mean, it's of course that we lost, but the way we lost.
You
know, the way we lost and the issues that we had, it just kind of just, you know, and then we let them drive all the way down the field to get in field goal range with their backup kicker, you know, stuff like that. I just think, you know, that part of that is just having a little bit of pride. Good grief.
Ridiculous, right? Just completely and utterly ridiculous. So we definitely are going to, like, I'm hoping, it's a hope. I still have a hope that it'll get better. But honestly, the way that the East is looking right now, we'll talk about that in a little bit as far as the standings and stuff are concerned, because what does that look like for Dallas in the long run? So anyhow, let's move forward and go to a few other games to lead into my quirky queen question that I have for you guys, because I'm super curious as to how y'all are going to answer it. So the Rams and the Ravens, of course, the Rams mollywopped the Ravens this week. The Ravens had not one quarterback, but 2 quarterbacks play, neither one of them being Lamar Jackson. They had Cooper Rush and Tyler Huntley at quarterback. The Ravens managed to score a total of 3 points in this game, with Derrick Henry actually having over 100 yards rushing. So here's the deal. They have won 1 game this season, and that 1 game they beat the Cleveland Browns. They are averaging 183 passing yards a game. Their third down efficiency is terrible. And they have conversion issues. So on they have 37 conversions on 84 attempts. Do y'all realize how terrible that is? Okay. So their offense right now, the Ravens offense, is just lopsided in a super weird way, because yes, they can kind of do something on the ground, depending on who's at quarterback, because they need a mobile quarterback. Huntley gets rushing yards just like Lamar Jackson when he's healthy. But they have Derrick Henry, but even they can't use him consistently the way that they need to. So on the other side is that like they just don't have any type of aerial attack at all when it comes to the ball being thrown in the air, and their O-line is dead in the middle of the pack, just average. So like to me, the Ravens have gotten away from their identity of running the ball and them having a lockdown defense. Coach, what's going on?
No, because without Lamar out there, that takes away from the running game, right? Because he also is a running threat. Mm-hmm. So if they don't have to worry about him running the ball, then they can stop the run easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to, like, him being out there compliments Derrick Henry and gives him an opportunity because they don't know who's going to run. So, that kind of opens it up. But with him not out there and not having a QB that's as mobile as he is, that collapses their offense in a big way.
It does. It does. And it's sad to see because like I'm not used to seeing the Ravens just be demolished. Like
1-5 is crazy. And we're talking about MVP status stuff where Lamar, like when the season started, and now, here he's out for till probably week 7 or whatever they said after the bye. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, let's go to this next game so I could get into my quirky queen question. The Bengals versus the Packers. Now, we know this was Joe Flacco's debut in Cincinnati. But the Packers got the best of them 27-18. Now, we talked about it in the last few weeks, how the Bengals O-line has been criticized for giving up sacks, pressures. They're failing to protect their quarterback. They have pass protection issues, run failures. Their O-line is just a completely like shaky foundation. It's like a house being built on sand. There's nothing to hold them. They have already this season been sacked 16 times. They're ranked 29th in pass blocking and run blocking. They allow pressure. This is what's crazy about their O-line. They allow pressure on 42% of their dropbacks. But when those dropbacks when they last longer than 3 seconds, they allow pressure 70% of the time. So their quarterback, like, when does the quarterback have any type of relief in that situation? They're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to protecting them. Their quarterbacks and them getting Joe Flacco again, just like we talked about last week. He's not a mobile quarterback. This is a year-old man, and you don't have people that can protect him. So was that the right decision? I am not sure, but do you think they have at least a chance to kind of stay in the swing of things for their division while Joe Burrow is out?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that, of course, I feel like they probably have an opportunity, but they're going to have to tighten up a lot of things. And again, like we talked about last week, Joe Flacco is older, and even though he should have more, experience, knowledge, wisdom, that kind of thing, it doesn't make him necessarily better. Now, the second half, he kind of found a little rhythm, got a little groove going or whatever. But they were down 10-0 at halftime. And so I think in the beginning of the third quarter, they held on to the ball for a good 10 minutes and then ended up scoring. And so he kind of started to get going. And maybe it's just because that was his first game, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a little tricky for them.
Yeah, it is. Like and I feel bad for the rest of the offense, especially Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, T. Higgins, because they have talent. They're a super talented team offensively, but they are a team who has to have a decent quarterback. Okay, so that leads me to the quirky queen question, y'all. The worst. I put the worstest of the worstest. So here's the quirky queen question. Who's the worstest of the worstest? Is the Cowboys defense, the Ravens offense, or the Bengals offensive line? Whose struggle is costing their team the most? Okay. And I want to see what y'all think about those, because there's a lot of factors in this. For instance, with our Dallas Cowboys, we see how it's affecting just winning in our playoff chances. We see how defense is really it's our crutch right now. It's the reason why it's our what is the word that I'm looking
Achilles
for?
heel.
Yes, it's our Achilles heel right now. Yes. And then if you look at the Ravens offense, like Sadell said, they're 1-5. Like, come on. And then with the Bengals O-line, there's so many different things going on there, because will they be able to keep a healthy quarterback? And you see, they didn't even have a backup that they could go to after Jake Browning. They had to go and get Joe Flacco from Cleveland. So what do y'all think?
I mean, to me, to be honest, I think the Cowboys defense is the worst of the worst. Like, and I mean, literally and figuratively, because I feel like they are causing the most issues. I mean, after Micah had got traded, the impact was immediate. Like, it was immediately felt, as you know what I'm saying? And it's different because like they've allowed almost 30 points in 4 out of their 6 games. Like, I think we're like in the bottom 3 as far as defense in the NFL. Yes. We have no pass rush. We cannot, for the life of us, tackle. We cannot stop anybody running. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, we don't cover well. I mean, everything that you're supposed to do on defense doesn't happen. I mean, if you can't tackle and you can't cover and you can't put pressure on the QB, we have nothing. We don't get third down stops. We stay on the field too long. There's just no, I mean, any QB back there is getting, they're all getting Hall of Fame games when they're playing us, because we literally just give them all day. Then we come out here with the freaking Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, and the last drive, 15 plays to go all the way down the field to score and win the game as time expires. That's horrible. Now, will I say the Ravens offense has issues? They do have issues. Mm-hmm. But their issues, like, I don't see a turnaround for us. Like, I don't see like, okay, change. This is going to get better. They know they're going to be better when he's back healthy. Because that's going to balance out the issues that they're having. The issue that they have right now is they have a backup QB or QBs who are not as mobile and can't hit the targets the way they need to. Mm-hmm. Lamar can do that. Mm-hmm. And he balances out the run game because defenses have to honor him. You know what I'm saying? So they can't just not respect that he might or might not run. And then that opens up the actual run game. So I mean, a lot of that will change. I don't see anything changing for us anytime soon this season, unless somehow miraculously, we luck up on something. But with the team that we have right now and the players we have right now on our roster, I don't see it changing.
So Drew said that the Bengals O-line is what got Joe hurt, and that the Cowboys have to outscore you. I mean, that both of those things are extremely true. Because that's why Cincinnati does not currently have Joe Burrow. But Absolutely, because to your
But
point, just like you said, if we score 40 points,
that's
we
what I'm
let
saying.
them
I mean, we
give
were
up 40
winning
points.
the game. We were ahead. Like we were beating the Panthers. And then defense gets back on the field and let them drive the full length of the field and score to win the game as time expires.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like offense didn't put up enough points to win. We put up enough points to win. We just, golly, that defense is just absolutely ridiculous.
It is. So I would ugh, I would say as far as the struggle costing the team the most, yes, I would have to say the Cowboys defense, in the sense of that is not just causing us to lose games, but this could potentially be the reason why we don't make the playoffs. And I mean, if we do, like to what you said, it's the defense isn't going to miraculously change overnight. And so even if we were by happenstance to make it into the playoffs, defense is what we need to get to move forward in the playoffs. And that's not going to happen with what we have. And I do think that our defense is detrimental to us. I don't feel like the Ravens offense is detrimental to them, because like you said, when Lamar Jackson comes back, that'll be a different story. The Bengals O-line, I do feel like is detrimental
For sure.
to their team. But with going along with what you said, I believe that if the Bengals front office were to just invest more in their offensive line, then they could keep a healthy quarterback, and the rest of the things would fall in place, because that's what they're missing. They're missing the protecting the quarterback. So if they fix that situation and Joe Burrow could stay in the game, they don't have issues
Right.
scoring.
Right.
So yeah, the
Or
Cowboys defense,
defending. They don't have issues stopping people from scoring either. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like their
yeah,
defense
yeah.
is not our defense.
It's not this bad.
Right.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. So yes, I would definitely say that that's one of the our Cowboys, boy. So wow. Okay. So guys, right now the NFL, like it's crazy. Let's go over some of these standings, because like, what is going on in the NFL? Well, let's talk about it. So right now, the Patriots are back on top of the AFC East. Now they're tied with the Bills. But I think the Patriots may have one more divisional games. But the Patriots being on top of their division without Tom Brady, what are we doing in America in 2025? Because wow, okay, but I'm here for it. Let's go. We already talked about the AFC North and the Ravens being 1-5, tied with the Browns. The Ravens tied with the Browns. What are we doing in America in 2025? In the AFC South, hey, the Colts are the best team in the AFC, period. They're 5-1. Like the Colts. We lost Adele. She'll be back. The AFC West, the Chargers and the Broncos are tied for first. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are in third place. Y'all, what is going on in America in 2025? Because the Chiefs in third place in their division, when y'all know the Chiefs are always on top. So that's crazy. Moving on over to the NFC side. NFC East. Y'all, like, for one, it's crazy that the Commanders, like, why? How? Like, we're in third place in our division behind the Eagles and the Commandos. And that's crazy because we're half a game above the Giants. And that was because of that tie, a half of a game above the Giants. And I'm not sleeping on the Giants because the Giants offense has been looking, it's been looking great. It's been looking incredible. Hey, welcome back.
Girl, oh my gosh, so
So
frustrating.
the Giants, their offense has picked up, especially with Cam Scatterbo and their quarterback. Like, we're seeing they're scoring points without Malik Neighbors. So the NFC East is looking like a tight race, especially with the Feagle Eagles on a decline. So I hope your coach friend heard that. Going to the NFC South. So in the NFC, the Bucks are the best team in the NFC with
By
Baker
far.
Mayfield, and they have constantly like injured offensive players. I picked up Chris Godwin, and I'm like, here we go. Like he came in and then he went out. I don't even know. But they're constantly injured offensively, but yet and still Baker Mayfield is on and popping with
He
it.
is balling right now.
He
He is
is.
balling.
I'm gonna need y'all to
Confident.
put some respect on that man's name because
Exactly.
that is a grown man. Okay.
On another note, the Aints are at the bottom.
And but I mean, that's I was talking about things that we aren't expecting.
Oh, okay, my bad. But yeah, it's just I haven't heard not one peep from them like this whole season. Like,
Girl, cause what? Right,
mhm.
exactly. Ain't no who that? Oh, right, gotcha. Okay, and then the NFC West. Yo, they're looking good. They got 3 teams with 4 wins: the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams. They're looking good. Who would have expected the Seahawks to look that good? Pete Carroll ain't there anymore, and we see the Rams, we see the 49ers keep having quarterback issues, and it does not affect them ever in life.
Because they just have a good system. They have a plug and play system.
Yes, they do. So with all of these things, like I don't know how much did you hear anything when you were gone?
Not at all. No, I was
Okay.
disconnected.
So real quick, the fact that the Ravens are tied with the Browns, crazy. The fact that the Patriots are back on top of the AFC East without Tom Brady. The fact that the Chargers and the Broncos are tied for first in the AFC West, and the Chiefs are in third place in their division. Crazy, diabolical what's going on in America in 2025. Our division is all, whatever.
Discombobulated.
The Packers are leading the North because of their half a point. Their half a point with our tie is benefiting the Packers. It's not benefiting us yet because we actually have to win more games.
That's what I'm saying. We have too many losses. It doesn't benefit us at all with the losses.
It's not benefiting us. And so and so these are the things. It's like I wouldn't have expected for these things to have happened at this point of the season, but they have, and we're here, and it is what it is, right?
Right.
So that's what it is. So I have something else I wanted to talk to you guys about, and that we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. So with the Chiefs, y'all, I don't know if y'all saw, but the University of Texas, El Paso put out this research analysis project. I don't know if y'all saw this, but whoa, the findings that they did. So they analyzed 13,000 penalty calls in the NFL from 2015 to 2023. and they found that postseason officiating favored the Chiefs disproportionately in the Mahomes era. And in other words, water is wet. The key findings included opponents' defensive penalties in the Chiefs' playoff games are more likely to produce first downs. And there's more subjective calls like roughing the passer, and that appeared at an elevated rate favoring KC. And the cause of all of this debacle of the research is basically the financial pressures in the NFL. We've talked about like the roughing the passer calls against Patrick Mahomes. We've talked about it before because it's like, whoa, we definitely knew that was disproportionate. But what do you think about this whole research project? First of all, the fact that a university said, let's analyze 13,000 penalty calls in a span of 8 years. The fact that they would want to do that is one thing, but then the findings behind it, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think it just kind of goes to show, like, we know that the NFL is it's a business still, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think because it's saying postseason penalties favor this one specific franchise, then I think it kind of alters the behavior. And even though, there's like people who say that all the games are fixed and this kind of thing, it's not necessarily fixed, but I think that they play to who they feel like people want to see, right? So
Yeah,
they kind of want, I mean, it's kind of like for years in NCAA, Alabama would lose 2 games and everybody's like, oh, they're out. Nope. Nope, they're in, and it's
they're
like
gonna
people
get them
love to
back
hate
in.
them,
That's
but they
very
watch
true.
them, you know what I'm saying? And I think that same kind of thing has happened with Pat Mahomes because there's an appeal. There are a
Yes.
lot of people who do not like him and they may watch just to see him lose, right? But at the end of the day, it's still money and they want high profile entities and businesses and individuals to,
Right.
be the ones that are in the limelight. I think it relates more to that than anything. And I think the officials probably have that pressure, because it is like they want to, like you said, they have those extra roughing the passers or pass interference calls and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Um, the crazy thing for me, to be honest, is that it said something to the effect that they didn't have those, that it didn't show those effects during the Tom Brady New England Patriots era. And, it seemed like it did, to be honest, but
Deflate gate.
their findings say that this phenomenon is specifically unique
Pat
to
Mahomes
Kansas City
and Pat Mahomes.
and Pat Mahomes in his era. And it just, the TV ratings and everything. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think when you start seeing those kind of ratings and people watching and that specific team is there, then yeah, the NFL is probably like, hey, let's keep him around a little longer. Let's make sure we
Yeah.
keep this guy healthy. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, I think that does play a part in it.
Yeah, when you look at financial pressures in the league, absolutely, especially if there's a decline in viewership across multiple platforms, right? They're going to want people to watch, and that's part of the reason why they switch around primetime games, depending on, like, later in the season they switch out primetime games depending on who's winning and who people want to see.
Even Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't
Right.
matter how
Yeah,
many games we've lost, we're going to play on Thanksgiving.
absolutely, definitively,
You know
we
what I'm
are.
saying? It's just
Absolutely.
people are going to go to that game and people are going to watch that game. It's going to make money for the NFL. And they're not going to be like, no, the Cowboys are horrible this year. We're not going to let them play. It's just not going to happen.
Right, right. So like I said, in other words, water is wet. We knew because we saw it, especially these unfair penalty calls. especially the roughing the passer calls, because there were plenty of times I saw that. But there is another quarterback that I saw roughing the passer calls on that a little too much, and I was like, and that's Aaron. Aaron got some of those calls too.
He
So he did, but
did.
go UTEP for calling it out. Now, is that going to make a difference going forward with the officiating in the playoffs? Do you think if the Chiefs make the playoffs, they will? They definitely, I feel like they still will.
No, I don't think it's going to change. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think it's going to change unless it becomes something that is, I mean, it's UTEP did this and came up with these findings, but the NFL will have their independent study done. I mean, it's going to be, if
Of
it
course.
becomes some kind of an issue, they're going to be having their independent study done to make sure that these findings are not correct. I don't see that being a thing that's going to happen.
Right, of course, because that's them. So anyway, going into next week, first of all, next week starts tomorrow. So Thursday night football. Girl, I have been waiting to ask you about this Thursday night football game, the Steelers versus the Bengals. This is the telltale. Here we go with the 40-year-old QBs, and I kind of feel like this needs to be a movie. Like, what are we doing?
Hey, I'm with the Steelers QB though.
Yes, absolutely. Even though I do feel like the Bengals have more offensive weapons, but it does, yeah.
The Steelers are also playing at home, and discount double check is just discount double check.
He is who he is
for a reason, and so I mean, might be a good game, maybe not, but I'm going with the Steelers on that one, like with no hesitation.
So okay, it might be a good game, it might not. Do you suspect that this will be an extremely low scoring game?
Possibly.
Will it be at least an entertaining game?
I think so. I mean, I think it will be from the Steelers' perspective. I honestly don't know about from the Bengals' perspective, because if their O-line is jacking stuff up, it might not be very entertaining.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So this next game, the Eagles are going to be playing the Vikings this week, and the Eagles are coming off of a 2-week loss. 2 games back to back, games that they probably should have won. There's rumors of the Super Bowl hangover. I'm not buying it, but yeah, like, are they gonna lose to the Vikings?
I don't think so. I don't think they are. I mean, yeah, you would hope so, but I don't think they're gonna lose, first of all, 3 in a row, and I don't think that they're gonna lose another game that they should have won. You know what I'm saying? And it is kind of a toss up, but I do feel like the Eagles will win.
I mean, I'm not sleeping on the Vikings.
No, of course not. But I think the Eagles like snap back and get their head back together and probably pull this one off.
Because I don't know. I feel like their head is in the sand, all of them. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they're comatose, something, because it's like, I don't know what they're doing. They're just showing up on the field, and at first, at the beginning of the season, they just showed up and oops, we won. Oh, wow.
Right.
Oh, okay. And then it was like, oh, well, we lost. Oh, okay. I guess we'll come back next week. Everything is super, like, they're giving nonchalant. The Eagles are really giving nonchalant. Like, they don't care. It's like, we won. We're the Super Bowl champs. Bow down to us. Like, that's how I feel their attitude is, because like they're just sitting there like, it is what it is, unaffected, because they're at the top of the daggone East.
I mean, that's not saying a whole lot. It's not saying a whole lot, to be honest. I mean, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's true.
Yeah, but I do feel like that. I do feel like they'll come back and beat the Vikings.
Okay, the 49ers versus the Falcons. The Falcons are coming off of a huge win over Buffalo, and the 49ers, they are the 49ers. Somehow they are a team too that finds a way to win. I think the Falcons have kind of hit a button with Bijan Robinson. And maybe Michael Penix is kind of getting into the groove, but I'm not sure if it's enough to beat the 49ers.
I agree. I don't think, sorry. I think the 49ers win. I think the the Falcons are, I guess, like you said, I guess they're just somewhat unpredictable.
Yeah, not
And then the
consistent.
49ers should have um the 49ers should have a couple of guys. I need to look at their injury report, but I think they had a couple that were going to be coming back this week as well. But
Is that Kittle? Is Kittle back
I'm
this
not
week?
sure. I have to go and look. But I think the 49ers win.
What today is Wednesday. So Ricky Parasol is still out. Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and Mac Jones are all limited today in practice. So everything is still up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Andre. So after that game, I have the Bucks and the Lions. We saw that the Lions lost a big game this week. But the Lions, we know them. They score on the ground, they score in the air. They're a
And they're at
super,
home.
and they're at home, but they are a very dynamic offense. And at the same time, here comes Baker Mayfield. It's like he's a silent but deadly quarterback, and their team is like creeping up on people and just attacking without them even being aware of what's going on. It's like, wait a second, hold on, am I losing? Yes,
Right. Did
they're
we just
beating
lose the
you.
game?
Right. So you still think that the Lions are going to win at home?
I think I'm saying the Lions are at home. I think they have a little bit of an edge, but I really cannot count out the Buccaneers. Like I think that they're kind of on the roll.
They
And
are
Baker is kind of firing up the whole team, even though they have some injury challenges as well. I mean, he's kind of like
carrying the team.
he's carrying the team and he's getting everybody like all fired up and ready to go. And so,
2.0.
and I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a definitely, to me, I think it's going to be a really close game. I think the Lions do have, like you said, some weapons, and they have a dynamic game. Like they
Yes,
have
it's
a
fun to watch.
full, well-rounded game.
Yes.
But yeah.
They are, Andre. They are. The Bucks are rolling. Absolutely. So next week we got a lot to look forward to. Now you did say, are the Cowboys winning? We're playing the
Commanders.
yeah. The Commandos. Are we beating the Commandos? We need to. That's a game that we need to win.
I mean, we're gonna say yes because we're Cowboys fans, but I really don't know. Like I don't have a lot of confidence that we are going to be able to stop them enough to win the game.
Well, and that's going up against another one of our former coaches, our former defensive coach, Dan Quinn. And I don't know, like, again, I'm not so sure we're going to win that game. Now, it is a home game for us, but home games don't mean anything to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we can win on the road, we can win at home, but it's not necessarily an advantage that we are at home. I mean, we got fans everywhere. We're America's team. So, but Washington, like we discussed earlier this season, Washington kind of hit a plateau and started regressing. I do believe that we can outscore them, but again, our defense stopping Jaden Daniels and yeah, I just
Well,
don't
to be
know.
honest, my problem is I'm not sure that we can outscore them. I think we can score with them, but I don't know that we can
Outscore them.
outscore
Okay.
them
Yeah.
because I don't know that we're going to stop them, and we're going to end up in
Yeah.
a similar situation as we did this past week, and a 3-point game that that's just very frustrating to
The
me. Just
young quarterbacks, especially the ones who are super mobile, are extremely difficult for us to defend.
It is because it's a running liability. It's the same thing
Yes.
that Lamar has, right? When he's healthy, it makes defenses have to respect, both. So you
Yeah.
don't know he can hand it off, so you can't cheat. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the issue with us. We don't guard that. We've never, to be honest, even with Micah, we didn't do that well. We just had someone who had the speed, agility, the athleticism to maybe come from behind and still get a tackle, kind of like he did with Dak in that game,
Right. Right.
and the awareness. But we don't have that right now. And, you know,
We don't.
they hit
We
the
don't.
hole, they gone, and we just there.
It's a wrap. And that's the thing.
Making
I
little
mean,
fairy tackles, making little fairy tackles. What are we doing?
yeah. And Jaden Daniels, he's young, he's mobile, so there's a lot that he could do. I don't really have faith in us in this game, but it is to me a must-win game because it's a divisional game. We don't at this point, because we have that tie, we cannot afford to lose divisional games. We can't even afford to split our divisional games, especially with Washington and well, I mean, with the Eagles, we're going to have to settle for splitting. But yeah, I'm not confident, and not because of our offense, but because of our defense. So that's that. I'm looking forward to another week of NFL play. But as we are about to wrap up this show this week, can we please give it up? Can we please give it up for
Or
my
somebody
Texas
maybe we can flip out Texas defense for the Cowboys defense, right? Because
hook
I
'em
ain't gonna lie.
horns?
It's kind of a thing, because my daughter went to OU, and then I've always been a Texas fan, so it's kind of a toss-up thing. But thankfully, our defense stepped up, and let me not say
Yeah.
thankfully in case she's watching. Somehow, the Texas defense stepped up and were able to like make some major plays that
Yes.
and
Yes.
and they needed that because they were struggling on offense, and
Yes.
they've been struggling on offense. And I
Very
really
much
thought this
so.
was going to be a revenge game for OU, to be honest.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I let me tell you, going into this game, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting much from Texas against OU. OU last week, I believe, was ranked 5 going into the game, and now they're currently 14
Yeah, I
because
mean,
they lost to us,
yeah,
and we weren't even ranked last week. We got
rightfully
knocked out of
so.
the top 25.
Look, rightfully
Yes.
so.
But we're back in that thing at number 21. And okay, so here's the rest of the season. And you got to let me know what you think about this and how you feel like this is going to work for the rest of the season, because we have a pretty decent schedule. We are playing the University of Kentucky this week. And then now the University of Kentucky, they're unranked currently. We
Right.
play Mississippi State, who's also unranked, but we play Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Arkansas, and A&M. The only other team that's unranked is Arkansas. So we'll be playing 3 ranked teams and 3 unranked teams. Those ranked teams, hey, Vanderbilt is 17 right now. Georgia is 9, but A&M is 4. That's our last game of the season. Now, I mean, A&M could very well stick that out and stay in the top 5, but this looks like a hard rest of the season. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be challenging, especially the further we get toward the end. I mean, Georgia is Georgia, and that's always going to be an issue.
That's
But
deep.
again, like you said, Texas A&M is also, looking to pose a problem. I just don't know. I think everyone's expectations were so high on Arch, and
Yes.
thinking he was going to come in. And to be honest, as I said before, I feel like he was better as a backup because there wasn't pressure. And so some people just, need time to be the man. And there's some games where even though he's not doing as well, like he shows a spark of what he might be able to be, but it just hasn't been consistent, not even through the course of a full game. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know what this year is going to look like. And to be honest, it's so disappointing to go from having such a great season the past few years to like, golly, like we look really, really bad. And then, the kids who have been there for the past 3 years, been balling, and now like this is their money year where they thinking, okay, I may be able to go get more money, do whatever. And now their season is kind of like definitely uncertain for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm a little nervous, but if they could knock this out and still end up ranked and maybe hit the playoffs, like go Texas. Texas fight, Texas fight. I would go Steve Sarkisian. Like that would be incredible. So we're still rooting for you, Arch. We're still rooting for you, UT. Like, let's go. Hook 'em horns. I got lots of compliments on my UT shirts this week at work. Lots of people. Let me stop lying. They ain't really compliment me. I was around Aggies and Sooners, and they couldn't stand it. But I loved it, and I basked in it, and I absolutely love it. So, yeah, keep fighting, Texas. And that's it. That's all.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I think the only way they secure a spot is if they win the SEC, and that's
gonna be hard.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to go through Alabama, Georgia, and Alabama and Georgia are not the top 5. You know what I'm saying? Or I mean, not the top 10. I'm sorry, not the top 2.
Right.
They're like 3 and 4. You know what I'm saying? But you're used to having them be 1 and 2. That's what I'm saying. But they're not in the top 2. So you still got Ole Miss and A&M that you got to worry about. Mm-hmm. But even just getting through those, that number 3 and number 4, like I don't know. It's not saying it's not possible, but it's not probable.
Right. And that's the thing. It's not necessarily probable, but we're still rooting for them, and do you think that this will be Arch's last year? Is he going to declare for the draft, or is he going to come back to Texas?
Bet not. What are you going to do in the draft?
I don't know, because if he sees what they're doing the rookie QBs this year, no, stay.
He hasn't done anything draft worthy. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, he has a draft worthy name, and that's it. Shedeur has a draft worthy name. Too. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Shedeur has a draft worthy name, and it's not working out. So I'm saying, like, yeah, I wouldn't advise him to. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, you can go and work out with a private trainer for the whole year. I mean, you still have to be able to produce and show some decent, consistent production. It's still, at the end of the day, it's a money game,
And he's probably making way more money right now with NIL at Texas than he would his rookie season anyway.
For sure.
Absolutely. So it's
Because
beneficial.
he ain't first round.
I ain't say that. You did. That's all I have for tonight.
That's it. That's all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate y'all. If no one told you that they love you this week, just know that we love you and appreciate you for hanging with us all these years on Dope Sports Chick. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
8:30 Wednesday nights.